With the presidential election just over a week away, I think most people have now realised that the debates and interviews are a little bit one-sided. As Heather Humphreys was being asked if she keeps her toaster in the press or on the counter, Connolly was being asked to defend the views of people who aren't even in the race. So with one more interview for Heather Humphreys to go, I've taken the liberty of preparing some questions that I think a lot of us would like the answers to. Firstly, why did Heather Humphreys want to introduce a tiered system for people with disabilities, making it more difficult for those people to access the supports that they need to survive? Heather Humphreys says that her talent is listening, so why did she refuse to meet the disability campaigners who called her policy demeaning and Victorian? And on the topic of listening, why did Heather Humphreys reportedly ignore the mother of Shane O'Farrell, a young man who was killed by a man who should have been in prison? Why did she refuse to raise parliamentary questions? Why did she refuse to support the family's campaign for a public inquiry? Why did she refuse to attend the vigil for the young man? Why does Heather Humphreys support fox hunting and hare coursing but states that she loves animals? And if she loved animals, why did she pass on a letter that allowed an animal abuser to continue to own animals? Heather Humphreys says that she wants to build bridges with the north of Ireland, and we know that she comes from a family with links to the Orange Order. Will Heather Humphreys condemn the Orange Order for their hatred of Irish people? Does Heather Humphreys' husband, who would ultimately end up in the Ors if she won, regret his time in the Orange Order? Does he condemn the Orange Order, and if not, why not? Heather Humphreys says that her party could have done more in relation to the housing crisis. What more could they have done, and why didn't she push for them to do it at the time? And how does she feel that her party is responsible for over 5,000 children being homeless? If her party could have done more, then why did Heather Humphreys block public housing from being built in her own hometown? Her party leader promised that no child would wait more than 4 months for surgery. Heather Humphreys was in government when that promise was made. What does Heather Humphreys have to say to the parents of Harvey Morrison Sherratt, who sadly passed away after waiting years for surgery? If Connolly has to answer for Claire Daly and Mick Wallace, can Heather Humphreys answer for Mary Harney, who is now supporting her campaign? Mary Harney made the decision to outsource the cervical check, which resulted in the needless deaths of dozens of Irish women. Vicky Phelan was among those women, and before her death, she said that she didn't want to accept her honorary doctorate because she would have to shake Mary Harney's hand. Can Heather Humphreys explain why, when she was the deputy leader of Fine Gael, she allowed a man who had been found liable of the horrific assault on another man to run in an election? Why did that man say that he was speaking to Heather Humphreys during that election? Were the two friends? If Heather Humphreys supports women, why did she vote in 2020 to seal the mother and baby home records? And finally, why did Heather Humphreys not learn Irish when she promised the Irish people that she would when she was made Minister for the Gaeltacht? Why did she lie to the Irish people? Why did she make a promise that she didn't keep? Why does she think that our national language can be used as a bargaining chip? Anyway, there are some questions that our completely unbiased media might consider asking, because as much as I was interested in knowing where Heather Humphreys keeps her toaster, I'd much rather know why she supports maiming animals instead.